We spend a lot of our lives in sales and marketing trying to find ways to reduce the leakage in our sales funnel. I want to show you today why you need to increase the leakage in your sales funnel, at least at the top of the funnel.
Funnel Vision is brought to you by Math Marketing, creators of the Funnel Plan. Math Marketing is the source of the 1, 2, 3 of B2B.
The further your prospects make their way through your funnel, the more you have invested in getting them to that point. So you just don't want them to fail at the last hurdle. That's the most expensive prospect, the one that's gone all the way through and then fails. So today I'm going to show you some back of the envelope maths to show you why it's so important to leak early, and share with you a few gems to increase your early leakage and decrease your late leakage. Let me give you two examples to make the point about early leakage. The first one is a sales versus marketing example. So I'll pose two scenarios to you. Imagine that you've got 20% leakage in the top of your funnel and 75% leakage, which by the way is pretty normal, in the bottom of your funnel. In that scenario, if you've got 75% leakage in the bottom of your funnel, if you want to make, let's say, 100 sales, you're going to need to put 400 proposals on the table. If your top of funnel leakage is only 20%, then you'll need just 500 opportunities or 500 leads to get your 400 proposals to get your 100 sales. Let's now reverse that, and let's say that we have a very low leakage at the bottom but high leakage at the top. So 20% at the bottom and 75% at the top. Again, to get our 100 sales, instead of 400 proposals, we need only 125 proposals that come in turn from 500 leads or opportunities. So my point here is not a pedantic discussion around what's a lead and what's an opportunity. I can have that discussion with you anytime. It's a lot of fun. Not. My point is a simpler one. Leak early. Take the pain early on. In those two scenarios, you had 400 proposals versus 125 proposals to make your 100 sales. I know which scenario I would rather. The second example I want to give you is to make a similar point, that is leak early, but I'm going to use a very different use case. I'm going to use AdWords as the example here. Scenario is this: we're selling a B2B product. Let's say it's $20,000 for the sale, and it's costing us $5 a click. So we're not in consumer land. $5 a click might seem okay in B2B. So if we've got a 1% landing page conversion rate, that is, once they get to the landing page, we're going to use really good filtering copy so that only the best prospects come through, because of my earlier example about leaking early. So we're happy with 1%, but we're going to have a really attractive ad. We're going to work hard to get the ads more and more compelling. We've got a 5% click-through rate on the ads, and then 1% of those become leads. So in that scenario, if we are able to convert 25% of our leads created from AdWords into sales, I'm going to use that 25% in both of the cases here, then here's how it would play out in this first example. 800,000 impressions, I know that's a lot, would generate 40,000 clicks. In turn, those 40,000 clicks would give us 400 opportunities, because it's a 1% rate. Those 400 opportunities become 100 sales. Now, we've leaked a lot all the way through there, but actually it's stacking up pretty well, because we've got $200,000 worth of ads, because they were 40,000 clicks and they were costing us $5 a click. So $200,000 worth of advertising yielded us $2 million worth of new business. And most B2B businesses could sustain those rates. But let's now change that. Instead of having really compelling ads and then aggressive filtering on the landing page, let's change that around. Let's have aggressive filtering in the ad and then a really compelling landing page. In other words, instead of a 5% click-through rate for the ads, let's drop it down to 1%. But in turn, let's improve our click-through, our landing page conversion from 1% to 5%. So we're filtering earlier. The ads would say something like, don't click this unless you are that. I'm using a silly example, but really aggressive filtering in the ad itself. Same numbers otherwise. 25% conversion of lead to sale, $20,000 deal at the end, a $5 click. Here's how it would play out. We still need 800,000 impressions, same number. But it generates only 8,000 clicks because we've got a 1% click-through rate. Those 8,000 clicks generate 400 opportunities, same number as before, but give us 100 sales, same number as before. Big difference, because the ads have still cost us $5 per click-through, but it's only cost us $40,000 in that scenario because we're paying for each click. Filtering at the ad means that only those who are really keen will click. We're too often really keen to get a high click-through rate. In this case, a lower click-through rate generated the same results because only those who are keen clicked, and then the landing page conversion went up as a result. $40,000 worth of advertising instead of $200,000 worth of advertising. Again, I know which one I would rather. That's an 80% less cost to generate the same revenue. I hope that stacks up for you.
Shortly, we'll show you how to do this in Funnel Plan. But before that, we're going to do two things. Share with you our conclusions and invite you to receive other blogs like this. Let's get to the conclusion first.
So let me make 5 points in conclusion. The first point is leak early. Do everything you can, firstly, to let marketing take the hit, not sales. And secondly, even within marketing, take the hit as early as you can. Leak early. 4 points after that. Firstly, take a look at your all of your lead sources from last year. And all of those lead sources that had a very high conversion of opportunity to sale, double down on those. Equally, take the opportunities that you worked on last year and those that had a very low conversion rate from opportunity to sale, drop that lead source. I don't care about the volume. It is a numbers game, but a numbers game doesn't mean volume. It means conversion effectiveness. So double down on the really effective late stage lead sources and halve the lead sources or in fact drop the lead sources that come from your worst case scenario. It's a general planning assumption, and that is plan for this year to halve your leakage late stage. Whatever percent you're currently leaking from opportunity to closed lead, plan on halving it this year. But correspondingly, plan on doubling your leakage from lead to opportunity. So whatever your current leakage is, at each of those two stages, lead to opportunity, opportunity to sale, big measures I know, plan on halving your leakage from opportunity to sale and plan on doubling your leakage from lead to opportunity. That will generate for you significantly higher returns from a lower spend.
If you enjoyed this blog, then likely you will enjoy others. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to receive this blog by visiting mathmarketing.com/blog or by visiting our YouTube channel. If you have a colleague who may be interested, we would be so grateful if you invited them to subscribe. Why don't you do that now? And when you come back, we'll show you how we do that in Funnel Plan.
As you know, the funnel plan is a great way to capture on a single page the plan for marketing and for sales. It describes the objectives, the strategy, the velocity, and the tactics that marketing are going to use together to generate the results that you need. Now let's take a look at today's discussion in the context of the funnel plan. We use the normal video, the blogging video that I've been using in the previous shows, and we're going straight to velocity. Now I've set this plan up already using 75% of our leads are going to become proposals, and only 25% of those proposals will become closes. Now, by the way, in B2B, 25% is not bad. The average is 1 in 3, 1 in 4, so 25% is 1 in 4. It's the bottom end of that normal range. The more successful businesses are generating much more than 50 or 60%, but let's stick to our example here. And I want to make the point, whilst that's generating, I want to make the point that the difference in the velocity from having these two scenarios where we have very low leakage at the top, so a high success rate, and higher leakage at the bottom, a lower success rate, is not that much different. So we need 976 names to achieve 140 decisions to make our $14 million worth of revenue over 3 years. At the offer stage, we made the offer 576 times to get our 140 sales. So I'm going to reverse those calculations, and you'll see that the new names doesn't change much, but the offer changes remarkably. So just remember 576 and 976, coincidentally very similar numbers. Now, all I'm doing now is reversing those success rates. Only 25% of our leads will become proposals, and 75% of our proposals will become sales. Let's see what the velocity calculation tells us. So we need a similar number of names. Before it was 976, now it's 937. I don't really care about that level of difference, it's not great. The great difference is in the number of proposals that need to be made to achieve our 140 decisions. Long story short, you can use the funnel plan to build the business case for really aggressively filtered demand generation from marketing so that sales can have high closure rates. That's all I wanted to show you with the funnel plan, and I hope that helps you build a strong case for strong marketing. In next week's show, we'll discuss how you can nurture those prospects that have leaked so that next time they enter your funnel, there's a much higher chance of converting them into a sale. Until then, may your funnel be full and always flowing.